We were very young, we were trailblazing, and now these guys have got to do it all again.
A few weeks after we'd been raving with Goldie, we all came back. We'd had a fantastic night, really amazing music had been played that night, and we were getting out our tracks and doing our dance moves, and Goldie just said, I have a dream, and I want to make this music, and I want you to be the DJs that play this music, and we'll have some clothes and we'll have a club. When Metalheadz came out of Reinforced, I think Goldie had already been taught, just express yourself. You know, okay, maybe here are some tools with Digo showing Goldie how to do things, or Mark Mannix and being in the studio, and you know, Goldie's like a sponge, is always there, present, and taking things and then turning it into a Goldie form, do you know what I mean? And I think coming out of that label, which was already exciting and kind of way ahead of its time, I think Metalheadz already, for us three, me, Ken and Goldie, just, it's a sense of we knew. When I look back at it, our belief was kind of ridiculous, really, considering we had no money. Sticking on labels ourselves, Goldie, you know, potato cutting the first Ajax project because all we got in money was to buy an ink stamp. That was it. We couldn't afford the stamp, just the ink. That was it. Press up 1,000 and off we go.
This music was being made on very, very basic equipment that was just really pushed by the soul, and that is a very hard thing to do. You have everything now with technology today.
Metalheadz was, now I've got this label, I want to hunt down those people, and I mean hunt down those people that turned me onto drum and bass, and I've got a vehicle now for them. You know, so you see Pesce, Alex Reese, Wax Doctor, Doc Scott, beginnings of Metalheadz, because they're the people that Goldie was looking to for inspiration in their tunes. And he did exactly what he said he was going to do. He hunted down those people, tear off your chest. Goldie was like, who the hell is Dillinger? I need to find him, on the phone him. Do you know this guy? Oh, right. I said, within about an hour, he knew, number one, he was in South London, and he knew that Groove Rider could most probably get him to get to him. So that's how he started his label.
The music itself is so big that we dare to dream, and we get influenced by the music so much. We imitate it, because art is imitation. And before you know it, you have everyone looking back in at you.
This music blew up, and we were getting invites to go to America, to Japan, to Australia, New Zealand. It was some pioneer, frontier shit. It really was. And it was awesome because I genuinely felt like an ambassador for the music. Do you know what I mean? It was, because, you know, people had heard bits and bobs, but they never heard it live. They might have had tapes, as it was back then. They probably did have tapes, because I know it was pre-internet where you could go online and just download and listen to whatever. So I can remember like we was in San Francisco and those places, and going out to New York for the first time. It was some fucking good shit, man. It was amazing. You know, to walk into a club and feel, I don't know, like we were from the future and like they were fucking some earthlings. We were from another fucking planet almost. It was cool times, man. And I can remember walking into a club and just feeling excitement, like genuine excitement. And you know, you knew you had a record box full of music that would blow away London, let alone, you know, going to somewhere in America.
Between me, Jane and Kemi, we did wish too hard and it all came true. We dreamt a little bit too much and it became a very lucid dream with where we're at now. And I think without those key waypoints within the music of those tunes, then I don't think we'd be where we are today, which is very important.
Metalheadz is a very brave label. It's what I've always said, you know, people say, oh, you can't really put your thumb on a Metalheadz tune. Yeah, how can you, from your sound to Pulp Fiction to Pressing On to The Raven? I mean, you know, they're four completely different kind of tunes, but what they do have is drama, and what they do have always been allowed as producers is an open-mindedness from Goldie, because he thinks and he makes his music in a different way. It is a picture. You know, I've always said a really good drum and bass tracks will make me see shapes. and pictures and images, and I see all that, and I think Blue Note, each DJ that played painted you a picture.
When I was 11 years old, when I was 12 years old, I used to stay up late, listen to John Peel and record, and that's when John Peel was first started playing some early house stuff, some early techno stuff, and early bizarre breakbeat stuff and whatever. And I used to stay up and record his show, 2-hour show, and I'd edit out the tunes that were cool and put them all onto a tape. Because I was one of the first kids to have a double tune tapes where you could twin one to the other, and that was revolutionary. Do you know what I mean? And then I'd take the tape into school and I'd say, check this out. And that's how I became a DJ, because I loved sharing music with people. And that's why I DJ now, that's why I run a record label, that's why I made music. It's because I love sharing music with people. I love sharing cool music with people. That's the only reason I do what I do. Yeah, I earn a living from it, but I think I'd still be doing this if I was a van driver. I'd still be getting music from somewhere and trying to share it with somebody. Do you know what I mean? That's all I've ever really wanted to do. The Blue Note allowed me to do that on an industrial scale, shall we say. It allowed me to do it as a mega complex of saying, I'm now at the level where I can get this music and this music, the most cutting edge music imaginable, to the point where I wasn't even sure I could put it in a set. Do you know what I mean? I wasn't even sure if I could make it make sense, but I'd love the challenge of trying to pull it off. And to have someone come up to you on the night saying that was amazing, and they go home and make some music. You're feeding itself. Blue Note was a trough. Okay, and I mean that in the best sense, as in, because it was full of producers, like Rage was when we went there. It was full of producers, and we went there to hear, to feed, to go back, and to gorge in the studio. And you have to feed people. Do you know what I mean? You have to bring you have to set a table, you have to sit them down, you have to give them something good to eat, and then they go back and then they make their own dinner and they bring it back to you and go, fuck, this steak's badass.
So I suppose my favourite DJ in the whole world ever is Chemistry, because she was brave. And people always underestimated her a little bit because she was the quiet one between Chemistry and Storm, and people thought it was because I was so forward. It was because she just couldn't be bothered. She was just thinking about other things, and that's most probably why, as Storm, I carried on a little bit more with the label, and Kemi decided to back off a little bit and concentrate on Chemistry and Storm.
As the music was translated by the fact that she was my muse to my inspiration to the music, and also the very kind of mothering aspect that she brought to the music of making it all right and fusing stuff together.
We've been making these promotional tapes, Chemistry and Storm 1, 2, 3. Goldie had encouraged us to do a CV in his wild styling, and we wrote down all the little things that we'd done. We'd been on so many weeks on Touchdown FM, we'd done a couple of little gigs, and he gave us a piece of his artwork, and my boyfriend at the time, Toby, was working at a printing place, so he got it all printed. So we had a package that we were sending out to people that was a whole different, CV what? We had a CV, and it worked really well, and I think Goldie was giving these tapes out to Randall and Groove Rider and Fabio, and we got to meet Randall, and because we'd already heard him on the radio on Centreforce, that's where we kind of fell in love with Randall. But me and Kemi always knew this was in for the long run.
God bless her, still looking down on us every day.